Hello, this is week 2 of Extravagant Generosity. This week our video is about who has helped you grow spiritually. Let's hear from our friends and neighbors.
Well, I'm one of the lucky ones that got to grow up in Jefferson, and my family has always lived here, so I came to church here as a child. And of course my parents were a great inspiration, but I still remember who some of my Sunday school teachers were, and Gordon Hemping, John Clark, the Osbergers. There are other people who were Bible school teachers, but they made an impression, or I wouldn't be able to tell you who they were. And now I have the great fun and honor of teaching Sunday school with my own daughter, and we have her daughter and my other granddaughters in our Sunday school class. We have 12 or 14 little girls and maybe one little boy every Sunday, and it's just wonderful to see them come, and they want to come. And it really does my heart good to know that I'm passing this church on to my children and grandchildren.
The person that spiritually inspires me is Jenny Wills. The gifts that God's given her, she shares without pause. She's known as the children's music director, but anybody that's been to any of her performances has been injected with love and goodwill, and she gives everyone in attendance. At performance she's directing is inspiring. Jenny gets the kids to act and sing with personality. They don't just read lines or sing notes. They really deliver with passion and personality. And besides that, she can play the piano like no other.
When we first moved here to Jefferson, we had the hand of friendship extended to us by John and Lois Clark. She's led me to UMW. She's led me to Bible studies. She's led me to funeral dinners. She is just a very special person to me, as is John to Harry.
Yeah, when we came to town, as Carol said, 15 years ago, John and Lois Clark were really some of the first people that introduced us to this church. And I mean, I can only characterize John as a generous person who cared much for others and was a selfless volunteer. And the inspiration to me was, I thought, well, how does John do all of this? And quite frankly, it's got me more involved in volunteerism, and in fact, I'm doing more than I thought I ever would do, and more than I thought I could do. And I'm happy to do it, and when I do it, I think kindly of John.
And it'd be unfair to pick one. Pastor Julie, of course, is by far, she makes me think and leads by example. But then I get to thinking, watching Jim North and his dedication with the youth, and his interaction is just inspiring.
I think 2 people in this church really have contributed to my spiritual growth. I think both Gary and Shirley Hoppert are just excellent examples of Christ's love and their continual giving spirit, and the way that they are just so involved with the mission work and always wanting to help out. And I think, like a lot of people, church camp has been a place for spiritual growth, and it was also for me in my youth. I can remember going to church camp every summer and spending time with friends and cousins at church camp and building those relationships and making memories.
Heather Wilson makes Sunday school fun, and I learn a lot. And she also brings really good food, and sometimes Lexi comes in and helps out too.
Jenny Destival has contributed to my spiritual growth. We oftentimes share our prayers and our concerns, our worries, our anxieties, and even some religious questions. It's God's working with Jenny to give me the answers that I need. And we've often shared very deep things from our past, our present, and those things of the future that are concerning us.
What would you do if you knew that the church needed someone to be a greeter or to help remind people to wear their name tags? What would you do if you knew the church was going on a mission trip? And what would you do if the fireside room, where we have lots and lots of meetings, was looking kind of outdated, and it also needed some paint and some sprucing up? Well, if you were Eloise Friday, you would just do it. And Eloise is a very special person, and she inspires me because of the way she loves our church, and she loves our church family, she loves our community, and she's just a very generous heart, and she has the attitude of a servant, I think.
Pastor Julie and Karen Shannon helped me grow closer to Jesus. We sing a lot of songs about Jesus, and that sort of helps me get close to him. And Karen talks about him in the children's time, and Pastor Julie preaches about him. Jenny Wills is a good music teacher, and I really hope that the musical goes well this year.
I know that Grace's Sunday school teacher, Renee Dunn, has made a big impact in her life and her spiritual growth. She so enjoys coming to Sunday school with her and as her teacher, and the projects and the outreach that she's learning to do, whether it be the pause or helping at the food pantry. She really enjoys that time.
I go to a women's Bible study on Tuesday nights, and they have been, really spiritual guides. I mean, we've met together for quite a few years, and I have grown a great deal through my connection with all of those wonderful women.
A year or so ago, I had a little adventure with cancer, and that triggered a friendship that has grown and grown, and I have to give a lot of credit to Shirley Hoppert for that, because she was there anytime I needed a ride, anytime I needed to talk, and I think her example of reaching out to someone that, we knew each other from church, but not well, but that's developed into a friendship that's it's indescribable. It has meant so much, and it wouldn't have happened if it hadn't been through this church.